I'm pretty sure Trump and his buddies just made billions of dollars. Trump just announced a 90-day pause on tariffs other than on China. I made a video a few days back explaining why I thought Trump might back off on these tariffs. It's pretty simple. Whenever he calls for tariffs, the markets tank. He and his buddies buy up a bunch of stocks, and then he just backs off. Markets go back up, and they make a ton of money. And look at the market right now as Trump announces his pause on the tariffs. So again, we've got to stop acting like these tariffs have anything to do with bringing manufacturing back to America. It's just Trump doing insider trading and probably extortion on businesses.
If this is the case, guys, then this is just worse than we think. Hi, beautiful people, beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by and supporting your girl once again on this channel. I see y'all's engagement. Thank you so much. So, credit goes to the creators in this video. So, guys, on today's tariff news.
So Velveeta Voldemort has paused his tariffs for 90 days. And in anticipation of the thousands of questions I'm about to get, let me just tell you, it's too little too late. Forget the fact that he specifically excluded China from this, as well as increasing the tariffs on them to 125%, as if that's going to get China to back down. It will not. They will just respond by adding tariffs to us, and the trade war will continue. And why pausing the tariffs for 90 days isn't really going to make any difference is because, one, he has already damaged America's reputation as an economic leader on the world stage. He has already proven to be erratic and untrustworthy, and that is going to make other countries rethink their economic partnerships. Because if you didn't know, economies like stability and predictability, right? They like to be able to anticipate what is going to happen and where things are going to go. And an erratic monster putting tariffs on and taking tariffs off and pausing them and unpausing them and raising them and lowering them haphazardly in response to a stock market that is bleeding out. That is not stability. That is not leadership. That is not predictability. That is chaos, and economies don't like chaos. And if Donald Trump honestly thinks he is going to be able to bully China into doing what he wants, he very much misunderstands a very fundamental part of the Chinese economic and governmental system. And it's that it's kind of a dictatorship. And it's surprising to me that he doesn't consider this, considering how badly he wants to be a dictator and how much he loves dictatorships. But, like, if the Chinese people get mad about, like, stuff being more expensive in their country, there's not a whole fucking lot they can do about it because it's a totalitarian government. And a totalitarian government that sort of manipulates its currencies already can also control its prices pretty easily, and that's fine. Basically, the Chinese people are going to be willing to or be forced to put up with a lot more suffering than spoiled-ass, selfish Americans are going to put up with, and they're gonna win. We're gonna lose. And you know that because we're already losing, because we've already lost like $6 trillion in like 6 fucking days. Not even 6 fucking days, right? So nothing's going to happen with this 90-day pause. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if by tomorrow he doesn't lift the 90-day pause because China puts more tariffs on America, and he'll be just so insulted at the audacity of the Chinese putting tariffs on us that he will punish the world for their actions. He'll hear about China making trade partnerships bypassing the United States, and that will piss him off. So now anybody doing business with China will like suffer the ire of Donald Trump. He's not a rational man. He's not a reasonable man, and he has no fucking idea what he's doing. He's simply reacting to chaos in real time, which means there's gonna be more chaos. So yes, I heard that he paused the tariffs for 90 days, but it's not gonna change a goddamn thing. It's probably not gonna last a long time, and it's not going to fix the damage that has already been done.
So the US is pulling a double move, giving 75 countries a 90-day pause on new tariffs, but removing China from the list. So guys, while others are getting a breathing space, okay, China is getting it harder. And tariffs on Chinese goods just jumped to a wild 125%, especially on EVs, steel, and tech. And Trump is still saying it's about trading balances and national security. But what's the real talk here, guys? Because this is also about sending a message. Because America is saying they are not playing nice with China. But please answer this question, guys. Who started this trade war? Hmm? Who? And this 90-day pause ends on the 8th of July. Because I see it as a window space to make new deals with friends or allies, whatever the case may be. But Beijing is not on the list. What do you guys think?
Wondering why the stock market just shot up close to 7% in like 2 minutes. It's because Trump just paused the reciprocal tariffs for 90 days on everyone except China. This is so fucking stupid. This back and forth bullshit with tariffs are not a real policy. And if you think they are, you are lying to yourself and you are coping. Okay? Trump likes when things go his way. When the stock market crashes over 15% in a week because of his actions, he's going to react. How is it, people who say it's a negotiation tactic, how? How is this a negotiation tactic? So over the next 90 days, these countries are supposed to come to the table and negotiate? No, Trump is ruining our relationships with our allies. What is this obsession of being self-reliant on everything? Have none of you heard about comparative advantage? I understand not being reliant on China. I'm all for that. I even understand reciprocal tariffs. That's not what was announced. But this blanket tariff bullshit on our own allies that we rely on so that they rely on us, it's a symbiotic relationship. It's not some parasitic relationship. Why? Why? This is unbelievable.
Oh my God, you guys. I just can't with half of this country. I just can't. So, of course, I heard about the 90-day pause on these tariffs, which so flippin' obviously was a decision made because this country is going to shit right now economically and then some. What a surprise that all kinds of people are coming out with disagreement with this tariff war, including some of Trump's biggest supporters like Ted Cruz, like the senator from Kentucky, like even Elon Musk, and who knows how many other people, including more of his billionaire friends. And simultaneously, he decides to take a step back and put in place this 90-day pause. Obviously, for anyone with half a brain, you can detect that he is doing this because things didn't seem to be working out all that great. We were literally like 2 seconds away from a full-blown recession. But what gets me the most right now is that there are Fox News people, and I'm sure all of the MAGA flippin' Kool-Aid drinking supporters, that are saying that this was all part of the plan. Apparently, the argument is that Trump in advance planned on doing all of this that he did, putting all of these tariffs against all of these countries, with the idea that they would end up coming to him, essentially begging him to negotiate. And really, his goal was just to get China. And since we now have, a 125% tariff on China, he apparently accomplished his master mission. The other countries were, I guess, some sort of a decoy or something, but really it was all about China. And look, he now has a 125% tariff on China. So this was all part of the master plan. This was all allegedly something that he thought up well in advance. And he's now a quote unquote genius, because I've been seeing the word genius attached to all of this. What in the world is wrong with you people that actually believe that? Like, that is the biggest cop out that has been used notoriously throughout history. When people fuck up, a lot of times they try and act like it's something they intentionally did because they don't want to own the fuck up, especially if you have an ego like Trump. Especially if you've made it very clear to the entire world that really your sole mission has nothing to do with the American people. It has everything to do with just being power hungry, greedy, and essentially wanting to come out looking like Superman. Obviously, that's all that this man cares about. And it completely ticks me off that the MAGA community is so obsessed with just upholding their stereotypical political agenda that they are willing to defend the face of that political agenda regardless of what he does. Like, literally, regardless of what he does. As he said himself, Donald Trump said back in, I believe it was 2016, that his supporters are so obsessed with him, he could walk down Fifth Avenue in New York City, shoot someone in the head, and his supporters will still vote for him. He said that. And you know what? That's like the one thing I agree with him on. For all of you that actually think that this was part of his plan and don't see the obvious, that he decided to put a 90-day pause right as the economy was going to shit, and so many of his biggest supporters, so many Republican congressmen are coming forward saying, "What are you doing, Trump? Like, what are you doing?" And then at that exact same time, he does a pause. You don't see that he's obviously realizing that a mistake might have been made? You seriously don't see that? If you don't see that, then you must be someone whose teenage kids like run amok around you. They can lie to you so damn easily. Like, you are obviously an extremely gullible person who is willing to sacrifice their soul for the sake of upholding an agenda. That is flippin' wild. Like, y'all need to go to the store and buy your asses some moral compasses before they get too expensive. But you know what? At least some people, even if it comes from Fox, still have a little bit of a brain. Check this out.
To be very honest, there is so much uncertainty going on right now. People are nervous. Consumers are bracing themselves up for price hikes. Like, people are getting themselves ready. It's not as if they have the money to spend for this price hikes, but I mean, what can they do? And businesses, especially small businesses, are not finding it easy at all. They are like, how do we plan this? And talk about the economy, the global economy, it is just shaky all over again. And some people are saying that this is just election year drama. Guys, what do you think about this in the comment section? Because I think this drama is too much. Because we are just in April, for crying out loud. This drama is too much for this year because things are eating up, things are getting shaky, raw, real, and we don't even know what this trade war is about. Who do you think is going to be on the receiving end? Because China is saying this trade war, we are going to come out stronger. We have always been strong in time past, even when the US did not exist. We have always been around for 5,000 plus years, and we have been strong when we didn't even have the US. Now the US is there. If they are saying they are going, we are still going to come out stronger. So, guys, what do you think about this? This trade war, who do you think is going to suffer? The United States or China? And no matter which country, okay, suffers more for this trade war, one thing is certain: consumers are going to be at the receiving end of it. Because even if China is saying that, oh, okay, we are strong, we can stomach this, there are still people that are going to suffer. So it's going to go both ways. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you found value in this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please turn on your notifications so you can know when I post a new video. I'll see you in my next video. Please don't forget to stay safe. Ciao.